Okay, Chargers, Titans. It's clear and obvious that the Titans currently are ass. And, it all dates back to, I don't want to be facetious about it. It all dates back to the aftermath of that Packers game. Todd Downing, drinking on the plane, drinking on the bus, DUI on the way home. They haven't won a game since then. That kind of knocked them cockeyed. And then you throw in the John Robinson firing, and I thought, hey, okay, here we go. Mike Vrabel, he's the man in charge now. He's the guy. This is good. This is going to buoy the franchise. And I don't know. I think he and Bill Belichick are going to have plenty of time to hang out and talk football after the season, potentially, the way this thing's going for the Titans, because they blow their opportunity to strengthen their grip on the AFC South. We're going to talk coming up about what the Jaguars did, but the Titans are suddenly in grave danger. Is there another kind in the AFC South after blowing it to the Chargers? And I got to give the Chargers credit. They're now the 6th seed. They're 8-6, and they are becoming the team that we thought they were going to be all year long. Better late than never. And they're making their late charge while there's time to get in. I always hate it when there's a team that starts off so poorly and they finally find their groove, but it's too late. They've had too many losses. They can't find a path to the postseason. Like the Lions may not get a path no matter what they're doing down the stretch. But the Chargers are getting there, and they keep their guys healthy. And you got Justin Herbert doing what he's doing. That ball he threw to Mike Williams to set up the game-winning field goal, what in the hell was that? Myles, he's not open. That is Justin Herbert saying, I don't care that he's not open. I'm going to get it to him anyway. While I am running toward the sideline and I am firing what Sims would call a piss missile, and it's right on the money, and it's effortless. What is that? What is that? And it's like, when it happened, it's like, wait a minute. He threw that. Wait a minute. He caught that. Wait a minute. He's in bounds. How did that happen? That's the weapon you have in Justin Herbert, and they finally have realized they need to unleash him all the time, Myles.
Well, I don't think that they've realized that watching that entire game, but, I mean, you watch that
maybe in that moment they did.
Well, they needed Justin Herbert to do incredible Justin Herbert things, and Justin Herbert did them. I mean, there are only a few guys that I can think of off the top of my head that would have ever been able to make that play. I mean, Aaron Rodgers a few years ago, I don't even know if he could do it right now, man. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that throw he had to Jared Cook.
Yes.
I think I was in a playoff
sideline. Yes, Cowboys. Yeah. First thing I thought of when you said that was the throw to Jared Cook.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that it's one of those kinds of throws, right? Mahomes can do that. Josh Allen can do that. I don't think there's anybody else that can do that, And when you see Herbert do those kinds of things, it's like, goodness, I wish that they would just let him be great more often, But those are the kinds of things that you want to see from a quarterback who's in his 3rd year and who's ascending, right? You want to see him make those kinds of critical plays that really elevate you to winning ball games. And when you've got receivers like a Mike Williams, like a Keenan Allen, it's why I get frustrated when I watch this offense. And so often the ball is either thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage. Right, you have 3rd down and you're in kind of a 4-minute offense situation as they were yesterday. And you have a chance to effectively kind of end the game with the 1st down. You end up throwing a screen pass to Austin Eckler, and he gets a few yards, and you punt it back to the Titans, and they go down the field and they tie the game. It's like, if you're going to try to win the game, then try to win the game, but throw something either at or beyond the sticks to freaking Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. It drives me nuts watching this offense, man, because you see then when Justin Herbert gets a chance to do special things and he does things like that, it's like, well, why aren't you doing that before? And obviously you're not going to, throw piss missiles or like that every single time, but it's just give him a chance to do what he can do and let that man be great because he wants to be. He's got the ability to do it. It's just sometimes they're holding him back a little too much, I feel like, man.
Well, and I think the reality is, and there's a balance, because when you have a great quarterback, you don't want to rely excessively on the quarterback to just go out and make magic. It's one of the points that Sims made, and I think it was right on the money. I never thought of it this way in all the years of watching football and all the years of talking about it. The idea that when Dak Prescott got hurt and Cooper Rush comes in And Mike McCarthy, the coach of the Cowboys, made the comment along the lines of we have to coach smarter. And he didn't really mean it that way, like we were coaching dumb. But it was we have to really work to get more out of the offense when we have a quarterback who is physically less gifted than our starter. Why aren't you doing that anyway, is Sim's point. You should be doing that anyway. You shouldn't just rely on a great quarterback to go out and save your ass every week. We don't need to put in the extra work. We don't need to be ultra creative with the plays we're coming up with. So I agree with that. But I also think you shouldn't overcoach a great natural talent that at times you just say, go do your thing. And I think that's the key. You want to coach him to go do his thing. And I say that, and we're going to talk about it later. I talked to Patrick Mahomes after the game yesterday, and I'm starting to have a better understanding of how the Chiefs have found this sweet spot where they coach him, but at a certain point they know this guy's just going to go do his thing. So let's coach him to do his thing. That's what the Chargers need to do. And maybe they'll start to figure that out. Coach Justin Herbert with the mindset of not, we got to pick plays. Coach him to do his thing. Find opportunities where he just goes out and plays and makes throws like that. And if they do that, that's a guy I want to see in the playoffs. That's a guy I want to see going toe-to-toe with Mahomes, with Josh Allen, with Joe Burrow. That's a guy who can finally fulfill his whole potential. And you know what? As you see him, he's kind of a quiet, shy, reserved guy, right? And I'm fine with that. But maybe he starts to assert himself a little bit more. Maybe that throw from yesterday is the thing that allows him to go into somebody, Joe Lombardi. He's very deferential to the structure. I got no problem with that. Yeah. At some point, you got to go and you got to start turning tables over and saying, guys, do we want to win football games or not? Look at what I can do. Here's the film. Watch this play. Watch this play. Watch this play. Why don't you let me do it? Well, can we take the training wheels off the bike now? So I just think that the Chargers need to embrace him for the full 60 minutes and work in these plays where it's just go do your thing. Just do your thing. Throw it to whoever you think is open because we trust that you have the ability to thread that needle while you're running toward the sideline in a game that's tied with our playoff hopes on the line. You're not going to be flustered. You're not going to freak out. You're just going to deliver. They need to just fully embrace it. That's what drives me crazy about it. I think it drives you crazy too. They need to fully embrace what Justin Herbert can do.
Yeah, I mean, he is a guy who's usually poised, composed. He can make every throw on a football field. And so that's why, to me, it's the strategy. It's the chess match. It's how do you really make sure that you are in the best position to win? Now, they also need to run the ball better to open things up probably a little bit more. They don't run the ball very well. I mean, they have Austin Eckler, and some of those things are on the offensive line, and they're missing Rashawn Slater. I understand all those different things. That's sometimes the pushback I get when I say, like, I don't understand why they're throwing so many balls at or behind the line of scrimmage, and people are like, well, their offensive line is this, their offensive line is that. It's like, yeah, I know, but there are still ways where you can move the ball and you can throw the ball to the sticks when it's 3rd and 10. Yeah, if it's a 4-minute offense situation and you're going to throw it anyway, throw the ball to the sticks, man. I mean, that to me is what drives me nuts about watching that offense. It's just, you have to be able to strategically know how to use your pieces and personnel. And I feel like they don't maximize it at the right times. And so that's what drives me nuts.
Meanwhile, the Titans really are in trouble, and I have a feeling Week 18 Sunday Night Football is going to be Titans at the Jaguars for the AFC South Championship. We'll talk coming up about what the Jaguars managed to do yesterday. Jags fans, we are going to give you plenty of attention. We are going to properly distribute accolades for the win over the Dallas Cowboys, but there they are right now. Because what it comes down to is if there's a tie and the Jaguars win that game, all they have to be is where they are right now going into Week 18, and that game is for all the marbles, because if they beat the Titans and they finish in a tie, they win the division because they will have completed the head-to-head sweep because they just beat them 36-22 8 days ago. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.